Hi, so this is a walkthrough of my Wix website of Contact, and it's broken up into three parts, which I think are the three kind of major milestones or points of development within my project. The first one being these initial drawings and repeat patterns in exploring my sound, which was a 2B graphite pencil on sketchbook paper, and I'll just play that sound now on my phone. Yeah, so through these initial drawings, what I was mainly focusing on was the kind of inexchangeable quality of these materials and at the time the atmospheric quality, the way my hand moves, like I was very interested in how these were um like unreplicatable. So I explored that further on in these drawings, and a few words came up in my reflections, which were unpredictable, opposite, and unique, which I thought these drawings were in relation to the sound. And a particular one that I was interested in is this one of drawing number 4, which explored a fountain pen on plastic. So what I believe to be um, kind of opposite materials to the pencil and paper that was originally used. And I'll just play that sound recording as well. Yeah, so I think there was a lot that this one told me about uh, how these materials differed in terms of like it being less fricative, less textured, and how much more information that gave me about the original materials that were used. And through textures and repeat patterns, I was able to explore this kind of further and also build on this kind of concept and relation between a digital replica, a digital kind of pattern, which was replicas of each other, like an exact replica, and how that differed from these handmade patterns, which none of them are the same, even though I tried to make them the same. So there was that kind of contrast and connection, which I thought um, was very interesting as well. So in the second part, I explored drawing and repeat pattern number 4, and through these paper trials in the initial stages of 3D development, I was able to get my head around like how paper as a medium works and the techniques I can use on it, as well as in terms of photographing these 3D sculptures and how light comes into play. Was That was also a pretty big focus of mine as well. Yep. Yep. So for dioramas, I focused on these three words in particular, and just of the qualities and characteristics of whoops of those words, and also the light qualities as well in and in general photographing my models. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of this clip as well, which was exploring the light shifting over time on this model in particular, and how that left these very amazing shadows that connected with the piece while being like alive by itself. So I thought that was very interesting. And for my final diorama, combine some of these techniques and processes that I've learned during the first part and the previous parts of the project to a 3D form. So this is my final diorama. I incorporated some of the previous models and as well as like techniques and the plastic and paper material as well. And this is just me experimenting with the editing and taking photographs from a kind of perspective view, playing with the lighting, the focus point of the composition, as well as the color. Storyboards taken from a perspective kind of view and how yeah, like different colors will come into play as well, and what kind of atmospheric quality I can um, lead the viewers to think with certain adjustments or certain like ways of photographing. That's what I thought was really interesting as well. So for part three, sorry, change over time, I placed my diorama just under the sun for a day and documented uh, the diorama at various points in time of the day. And what I originally thought was that the sun would create interesting patterns from the sculpture and how these would interact, but I don't think the sun was focused enough in terms of like just being a source of light to do that. But what was very interesting that and unpredicted of unexpected of the result was all these interesting tones and what kind of aesthetic that gave the whole model as well, and the unpredictable like movements of the wind, as you can see from 1 o'clock here, and also just how that would interact with it if it was going to rain, how it was going to change over time. And these were some of my inspirations as well. Um, I don't, although I don't think my dioramas are as more powerful and violent looking as this one. This the aesthetic that gives off to me. I think there's certain connections as well, and I was very inspired by how immersive this is and the way that you kind of interacted as an interior and as a space. And I try to also do that with my models as well. So thank you.